setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
Good morning, America, and around the world. I'm glad that you have joined me. It's a wonderful day. I think it's going to be a wonderful day. I feel upbeat because you know what? I see hope. I see hope that we're going to get through all of this virus nonsense and stupidity and people being sick and everything else. And I think we can turn the corner. I think we can do something really great. But what has to happen? Businesses have got to get back to work and employees back to work. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
I tell you, when you do a podcast, you're always thinking, okay, what am I going to talk about today? But I tell you, over the last few weeks and months, there has been a lot to talk about. I think I've covered almost every subject on health, on business, on impeachment, on Russia, on everything. I think I've covered pretty much everything. But what I'm concerned about today is that we just got the job numbers out today that said 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the last few days. Now, 1 million of that came from the state of California. So if you think that the state of California is not in trouble, they're in trouble if they don't get their employees back to work. They're going to face such a crisis that it's going to probably bankrupt them if they don't get their act together. Okay, there can't be so much government control, and there's got to be a little bit of freedom. And you got to let these people go back to work and open their doors. However, we can do this very safely. And we have to do it safely. So I'm telling every single business today, I've said it in the last 3 days, I've said that, and I've repeated this so many times, is that we need to get back to work, but we need to be in compliance with CDC protocol on how to handle this virus. And we need to apply it to our business standards, because that should be the new ethics of business. Fighting the virus, or any virus that comes our way, protecting our employees, protecting our clients, and protecting our business. Because if we don't have our business, we're out of luck. We are in a hole filled with caca. So California has got to do a little bit better, because otherwise they are literally going to drive more and more people out of California, and also the businesses will start leaving, going to friendlier states where they feel that they're wanted, not where they're the enemy. Once the government takes control, they want full control over your lives. And that's what's so dangerous about Los Angeles and San Francisco and the whole state as altogether, is that government there has become a socialist government and they want full control. But with all that being said, we can still open these businesses and remain in compliance with CDC protocol. And how do we do that? Well, each and every single one of us that owns a business needs to start developing right this very day, right now, a virus healthcare directive, which clearly explains what is required by the CDC, how it's going to be applied within your business or office, what the responsibilities are of the company and what the responsibilities are of the employees. And every single one has got to understand that everyone is responsible for the company health. Not just the financial health, but the literal physical health within the company. There's got to be some rules set. When you can and cannot come in. If you have a cold, nope, you can't come in. If you have a fever, no, you can't come in. There has got to be some rules on if you have a fever, how many days can you come into the office? It's going to cost business. This is going to raise prices. Because when you have people absent, it costs business. When you have conflict in the office, it causes a higher expense to operate that business. And when you have people out of the office because they're sick, it creates more financial stress. So we're going to have to work this through. How are we going to lay this out and remain in compliance with CDC and also with the employment laws of every single state that we're in? And there are employment laws that we have to recognize and take into consideration. But I would suggest that you sit down and make a virus healthcare directive for your company today and start thinking about how you're going to handle viruses and everything else that's going to be thrown at us. I mean, we have another virus out there already from China. I haven't heard too much about it in the news, but it's out there. And it could become here. It could come here. So we are going to constantly have this virus challenge. But we can handle it safely if we all, each and every single one of us, have a virus healthcare directive in place so that we know what our responsibilities are. What are our responsibilities sitting there at that workstation? What is the janitorial department's responsibility making sure everything is sanitized and disinfected every single night? Whose responsibility is it to go around every single day, maybe every 4 hours, and disinfect the countertops and the desks and whatever it may be? Those are the types of rules that if we put in place, we can. What kind of masks are we allowed to wear inside the office? Maybe companies of their own can start designing their own mask with their own logo on it. There are so many positive things that we can do as businesses and companies and employees and employers to make this virus safe and make it seem natural as a flow within the business. Because we have to change our philosophy of how we think we should be acting now. Now, will this last forever and ever? Maybe not. But it seems as though that these viruses are becoming stronger, so we have to be prepared. Each and every single one of us have to be very proactive and be prepared on how we're going to attack it. It's not just the government's responsibility. You cannot rely upon the government to solve everything. It has to fall back into our hands as citizens of this great nation, or whatever nation that you're in. The government can't do everything. They can try and work things through and put rules and regulations in place to protect us. But if they go overboard, like in California, where they are literally trying to take control of every single aspect of life, then we go too far. So we have to have this balance. You understand what I'm saying? There's got to be this balance of our protecting our liberties and protecting our freedoms, protecting our Constitution, protecting our healthcare issues, and not let government go too far. Because once they go too far, they take care of they not take care of it, but they take control of everything around us. And that's where it becomes dangerous. We have to be very, very careful. But we as businesses, we as employers, employees, can be very proactive and fight this virus thing. So today I'm asking all of you businesses out there, I don't care how big you are, small, and maybe you just have 1 or 2 people, or maybe just one person. You need, or you may have thousands of employees. Sit down today with yourself or with your staff and design a virus healthcare. I'm so positive about this that I want you to understand Business has got to survive just as human beings have to survive. If businesses don't survive, and I'll give you a good example of what really scares me. Cheesecake Factory announced today they sent notices to all of their landlords saying they're not going to be able to meet their rent. Now, think about how that works, okay? You've got Cheesecake Factory. They don't have the cash flow to pay their rent, which means they don't have the cash flow to pay their employees, to pay their vendors. Those vendors underneath them don't have the cash flow to pay the people underneath them and can't meet their payroll. It is like a big bucket of water being poured down and no one can catch a drop because everybody's in the same boat. That creates a financial hardship on our nation. People can't meet their mortgages. Yeah, they're going to extend it, but how long can they extend it? Because once these economic things begin to roll, they begin to roll really quickly, and then they get out of control. We don't need to have our banks fail. We don't need to have people running against the banks. What we need to do right now is get our businesses back up and running, get our employees back on the job. We have to do this very carefully because we have got to ramp up, which means we can only do it bit by bit by bit. Okay? We can't just do it all at one time because a lot of us don't have the cash flow to support bringing back every single employee. We have to bring it back bit by bit. When our revenues become bigger, we have cash coming into our banks. We're able to meet our bills and obligations. Then we can start adding more and more employees. So there's going to be more jobless claims. I hate to say that. But we need to get our businesses back into place because that drives the economy. If you have no businesses creating business, there's no drive to any economy. Our economy is literally sitting there dead. So, let's think positive. Let's think proactive. Let's get our virus healthcare directives written. Start it today. Go to the CDC, download and print out their rules, and incorporate that into your directives. But let's get going, people. We have a lot to get doing. We have to start planning. Now, Easter is a go date, or a semi-go date, proposed go date by the president that businesses can start back up again. So you have a lot of planning to do between now and Easter, which means you've got to start thinking, who am I going to bring back that is going to bring value into the company that will generate revenue? That's your first number one role. The other concern is, are those people still available? Are they still available? That's one of your concerns. Are you going to have to replace them? Is there somebody that you can move up from some other place within your company that have the ability to fill that person's space? There's a lot that you need to be thinking of between now and Easter, now and the time that you open your doors. As I've told you so many times before on my business podcast, business is about planning. And now it is essential that you start sitting down and plan. I don't care if you're one owner, two owners, three owners. Start sitting down and pounding out the paper. Get a piece of paper, a pencil, because you're going to do a lot of erasing because things are going to change. Put together your plan of action today. Put together your virus healthcare directives today. Start doing it. Because once Easter comes and you're able to open your doors, you've got to start running ASAP. Now, a lot of you have been able to work from home and you've been able to keep some sort of business running. But you still need to sit down and plan. What are you going to do? And how fast can you get your company fully up and running? And which one of those employees have the best value to bring into the company to help you get to that point? Now it's not about who you like. It's not about who you get along with. It's about who brings in the value to bring that company up and running. That is your responsibility to plan. I know, it's a lot of work. But just think of where you've been. You've been sitting at home, having fear thrown at you every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by the media saying how bad it is. But I'm telling you right now, it is good. It's a good opportunity because now you get to restructure and make your businesses stronger. Make your business stronger. That is the opportunity of a lifetime. I see great things of this nation. I think that we're going to come back stronger once we get the businesses up and running because now everybody is thinking, how do I face a crisis? I've got a crisis plan in place. I'm ready to go. I know what my responsibility is and my employees' responsibility is to fight this virus or any virus that is thrown at us. We are ready to go. So this is a big opportunity. This is the time where we get our businesses strong. Don't think of this negative. Don't listen to all of these naysayers on they're running out of ventilators, they're running out of bed space, people are dying. We're doing very good. This nation under President Trump is doing very good in controlling this virus. And we're all working together. Once people start making it political, that's when it goes to hell in a handbasket very quickly. But you and I can work together. You, your boss, your employer, your business, your partners, your clients can all work together. So I say let's come back strong. Let's come back fighting. Let's come back with true American grit that we can get this done. Listen, if you have any questions, send me a text at 818-252-5682. That's, again, is 818-252-5682. And I'll be more than happy to help you. If you need a CDC directive or if you need a virus healthcare directive and to get that going, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to work with you on it. We have opportunity. Let's go for it.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.